he would shower me with a lot of love. Whenever he would come back from work, he would always give me a warm hug and a kiss on the cheek. And it's Yuntaku time with Akko and Tamo.
What does Yuntaku mean? It's an Okinawan word from the islands of Okinawa, which means chit-chat. We want to invite you to our kitchen table and include you in our chit-chat to explore new ways of thinking, to welcome different perspectives, and learn better ways to live life.
And we want to share ideas on how to love yourself, love your partner, and shower your children with love. Happy belated Father's Day, everyone, for all the fathers out there. And today's topic is going to be, has the meaning of Father's Day changed since you've become a father?
Thank you. I had a great Father's Day. Thank you very much, Mama.
No problem, Dada.
We got to spend it with our daughter, and it was fantastic. I loved it. And yes, since becoming a father, things have definitely changed. And it's a great time to reflect and look forward into the future and how I want to grow as a dada. Yeah.
That sounds good.
And so, before I share my perspectives and vision I have for being a father, maybe you can share a little bit about how it was growing up with your father. So maybe you can share some stories and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. I had a pretty good childhood in a sense that I was the only girl. So I'm the baby girl. I have two older brothers who are much older than me to a point where they thought that a lot of my friends thought that they were my father. So in a sense, I had maybe three fathers, but my dad was a pretty involved guy, I guess, in a sense. He would take me to the park and then teach me how to bat, just because he was really into baseball, super into baseball. He would teach me how to catch a ball. Pretty much every weekend, he would take me to the park, a neighborhood park, and teach me that. And I would hit the ball, and then my brothers would have to fetch it, and I would run all the bases, our imaginary bases and everything. And other than that, there were times when I got older, he would take me to the driving range, and we would bond by me hitting the golf ball super just unprofessionally. I don't even know where it went. But yeah, I used to do that a lot, probably a couple times a week. I would just kind of tag along with him because I wanted to go with him. And sometimes I would just go to the putting area and just putt. And it was really fun. Other than that, he would shower me with a lot of love. Whenever he would come back from work, he would always give me a warm hug and a kiss on the cheek. And it was very comforting. And I felt that I was very loved. And so those were some of the memories that I do cherish. There was a lot more memories. I pretty much tagged along with him on a lot of trips. And then, there are times where he liked to fix cars. So I would help him fix cars. Well, help him in a way that I would hand in the tools, and he would teach me what type of tools is what. And so, and then I would kind of look under the car with him. And I'm sure I remember he wasn't really comfortable with it because it was kind of dangerous, but I was like, I'm okay, don't worry. Anywho, but yeah, I had a really good childhood with my dad.
That's great. That's really great to hear. Yeah. And, I think that when you're in your formative years, having support and love from your father really was a positive thing for your life.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, so has Father's Day changed as far as, since you've become a father?
Yeah, definitely. Things have changed quite a bit. And I can split it into two main things that I think about, which is one is perspective and kind of a metaphor, perspective and metaphor, and then the vision I have.
Okay.
And what I want to share is some of the perspective slash metaphor that I have in terms of becoming a father. One of them that I really like is the metaphor of a rocket ship shooting up into space, outer space. And we all know that, when a rocket launches, it has boosters, right? And then it carries payload. And as the rocket is ascending, the boosters cut off, and then there's a few stages to it, and then goes into orbit once it goes out of majority of Earth's gravity. And that's kind of how I see raising a child. For us, the payload, we're the rocket, and our children can be seen as the payload, right? And we want to do our best in order to get them to orbit and for them to succeed in the ways they want to succeed, not in the ways that we want them to succeed, but in ways that they can achieve their dreams, their visions, and to leave the world in a better place than they were born into. And so that's one of the metaphors that I keep in my mind. Another one is staking of a tree. So when a tree is young, it can grow obviously in many directions. Hopefully it grows up straight. But sometimes when maybe the soil is unstable, or there's a lot of wind, or maybe the roots are not being established, or it could be poorly planted, the young tree can start to develop a lean. And as it matures, it keeps that lean, and sometimes that presents issues for the tree. And similar to the tree, for me, I would like to be that stake that helps our children grow straight, in a sense of they are able to have a dream and kind of chase their passions, right? And not be taken astray by extraneous stuff, things like maybe especially nowadays there's so much distraction in terms of digital entertainment.
Absolutely.
And then there's also much more negative issues that can crop up in this world as we grow up. So being that stake that kind of helps guide our children until they're ready for the stake to be taken off, and they can fully mature to who they are meant to be.
I like that.
And a third perspective that I have is maybe more tailored towards a woman, but it's the pregnancy metaphor. And as a woman becomes pregnant, the child is one with you, right? And when the child is born, that's the first separation that happens between the mother and the child. And as the child grows, little by little, there needs to be more and more separation so that the child can have ample space, not only physically, but emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, to grow and find their own way. Right? And just like a stake that I talked about, or even the rockets, we want to take them as far as we can without stunting their growth. So that's how I see parenting from several different perspectives slash metaphors.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. And so with that, I also have a vision, and that vision is to show our daughter what a healthy family life is. I want to show her how much I love you, right? By example. I want to show her how much I love her in the way that she understands love. That, I think that's a subtle distinction, right? Because everyone, of course, they want to show their own children as much love as possible. And that itself is very clear. But the subtle distinction that I want to make is we want to love our children in the way that they receive love. In the future, we can talk about the 5 love languages.
5 love languages,
But, I think there are many other subtle things. For example, a newborn, a toddler, an infant will require love in a different way than a teenager or a fully grown adult. So being able to adjust and grow with them to give love. I think that's a really important understanding to have. And as our daughter grows, I'm sure that we'll be very much tested every single day and challenged so that we also grow with her too. And so that's one of the visions I have. And another one that I have is to show our daughter by example to pursue her own dreams and to never stop learning, enjoy curiosity, and play with imagination. So as much as possible, keeping that youthful energy,
the imagination,
right,
creativeness,
the openness. And you know, this is life, so things are going to hurt. We will be scarred, but making use of those seemingly bad things and turning it into a positive. So teaching her to be an alchemist, right? Alchemy is the study of turning lead into gold, and that's what we want to do. Another way to say it is when you have lemonades, when you have lemons, you make lemonade. Right? So that's another thing that I have a vision for. And as I mentioned, I want her to leave the world better than she found it. And just like for us, we want to leave the world better than we were born into. And part of the reason for this podcast is that we want to share some of the learnings that we've had. And we're constantly learning. We're taking courses. We're just learning through life, but
challenging ourselves.
And taking ourselves outside the comfort zone.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
And one of the last and important visions that I have is, you know, we talked in a previous podcast regarding the values you had and how family life is very important. And I want to foster that family vision as much as possible, which is, as you mentioned, Mama, a family, a home that is overflowing with love.
And a way you can do that is by showing unconditional love to each other. I think we can show our daughter that she's loved and how to love people too, and how to receive and just be a more well-rounded person because she's loved.
And so you're saying that for us to show love to each other.
Is I think key. Not necessarily, yes, showing her love, her unconditional love is very important. But more important than that, I think showing each other that unconditional love is much more deeply rooted and much more impactful for her as far as her receiving and observing the love. Because, again, I mean, your children can feel emotions. They can feel the love. And so if your parents are not being truthful and honest with their love with each other, then your children's gonna catch on to that, and they're gonna know.
And I think we also see that in our daily lives too. You know, when we hug and kiss, she's watching us.
She loves it.
She loves it.
She loves it.
She really likes it. And after the big old smile, she comes running towards us, and she wants her own hug too.
Right in between us, which is great. And it's not in a bad way either. It's not like, it's just, she just wants to be a part of it, which is great.
And for me, I don't see how she comes over to us is not necessarily a jealousy.
No,
it's more
not
like,
at all.
Hey, I want to join in the love too. And we welcome her in, give her a big hug, and put her center. And give her a hug, right? Both of us together. So I think that's really beautiful. And we all love that. You know?
We do. We do. So I think it's, important. So I hope everyone can, go that extra step and show a little more love to their partners in front of their children. Because it is very important. I grew up in a household where that was never shown, and so not to say that I didn't think my parents loved each other. I think they did, but it's just I never saw it, and so I made sure that I knew that I didn't want to be like that, and that I'm gonna fully express my feeling towards Dada.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you. Yeah, same for me too. I think maybe in our culture, and maybe it's just a generational thing.
Yeah.
At the same time, culture and generation, where there's multiple different types of love, right? There's physical love, there's emotional, how you say it, how you treat them, things like that. But in most, I guess, dimensions or realms of love, it was usually muted, or in my case, I actually saw the opposite. It was kind of weird. They wouldn't be able to say directly that they really loved each other or things like that. And sometimes it might come out in a kind of a
weird around the bush way.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's never direct. You've helped me really kind of be more direct, and more than direct, more honest with my love, and now I'm more and more able to express my love towards you, which also in turn helps us express love to our daughter.
Yeah.
And if we can continue to grow that'd
be great.
Overflowing, baby.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I think it's...
Yes, it's coming to that time
again, yeah.
So thank you very much, everyone, for
tuning in. And if you'd like to chime in or leave a comment as far as what Father's Day means to you, that'd be great. If you can just go on to our YouTube channel. It will be under the name Adventures of Team Taco with a K. That's Tako. Adventures of Team Taco, and just drop a comment.
Yep. And to find us, an even easier way is just type in Yuntaku Time.
Oh, yeah.
Search Yuntaku Time on YouTube, and you'll find it. And then, comment. All right. Well, we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.